The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Alabama Politics this week. Obviously, I'm not Dale Jackson, but I've been on the show before. I am Yaffe. I am a talk show host. I come on right after Dale on 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN, and I'm going to be filling in for Dale Jackson today, but the good news is Mecca Music is here
and
still.
I am so happy to have you here, Yaffe. I love talking to you. No offense to Dale, but I always appreciate your insightful input and just ability to carry a two-sided conversation.
I heard a little bit of a dig at Dale, but that's okay. We expected that. So, yeah, we have a lot to get to on the show today, so why don't we do it? We have that 2-minute warning.
We have the 2-minute warning. We're going to have Renee Bartlett, the mayor-elect of Madison, coming up for the guests, so let's go.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so when we're talking about the government shutdown, is it ever going to end? You know, I have suggested actually in a way, maybe they should just pass regular appropriation bills. Since the government shut down, we just, okay, well, fine. Because the whole purpose of it, right, Mecca, was, you know, you have a regular appropriation bill, but they needed more time. So you have a continuing resolution to give more time, but shut down, so maybe let's have a regular budget. Is that even possible?
Not at this point. It absolutely doesn't seem so. And what's most interesting to me about this issue right now is how many votes have they had? What vote are they at? No votes have changed. We're exactly as we were from day one.
Yeah, and one thing that a lot of this has to do with healthcare. And finally, I have seen Republicans, you know, I'm saying if you're going to talk about the healthcare issue, just say Obamacare failed. That's why healthcare costs are going up. If you're the Republican, that would be the line. Obamacare failed. That's why healthcare is going up. We can talk about that, but let's open up the government first. But, you know, it just seems like maybe it's not going to happen until after the No Kings rally.
Is that what it is? That's what you're holding out for? That's
what
Katie
Britt, Senator Katie Britt suggested that.
I didn't see that part. So, but you're talking about the healthcare Democrats, and that's another important point on this. The Democratic base, the Republican base, they're both happy with what their sides are doing. And until the voters get involved, or until more, maybe let's say air travel is affected, TSA, air traffic control, you know, they made the military paycheck. We had talked about that last week.
But that can't last forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once people get more involved and more angry with this, I think that's the only time we're going to see the sides move. At least, I mean, to this point, that's what's been proven so far.
Yeah, I think you're right, because eventually, if the military doesn't get paid, that doesn't make anyone look good.
No.
I don't know who caves, though. I tend to think this is bad PR for the Democrats just because, and I know I'm a little bit biased as a conservative, but just because the Republicans are like, these are the same spending levels that you voted for last time.
Right. Well, but you mentioned earlier, Republicans need to say this. This is a smart talking point. This is the way to do it. Well, what about Democrats? As far as talking to their base, their base is happy with it.
Yeah, so it's going to take some ramifications, I think,
Absolutely.
eventually for voters to step up. So looking at some more partisan politics, I guess, we got to talk about a lot of politics here in the state of Alabama. Mecca, I figured you just go kind of down the list, and we'll just kind of go. We might be here a while. We got 2 minutes, but see what we can start with.
Well, I haven't got to talk to you about these.
Right.
I know you talk with Dale, and y'all share like an hour on the radio and stuff like that, but I haven't got to talk to you specifically about this, the Senate race. How wild has this been? Obviously, Steve Marshall, Attorney General, still the front runner. You had Barry Moore jump in, and he's got a solid support system and base behind him as well. And then there was like talk of Bruce Pearl for a while. That's out. Now there's Paul Feinbaum. What is your take on this race?
So I think you're right that Steve Marshall is still the front runner.
I agree.
Barry Moore is kind of an underdog, but he kind of likes that.
He does.
He wants to run as he's true MAGA, true anti-establishment. So he's trying to get that lane from Marshall, but Marshall's very MAGA too. I mean, he's very much a Trump supporter. So I think that's going to be hard for him to do. Paul Feinbaum, you know, I asked people, people in Alabama seem to love to hate him.
Yeah,
So
he's got the name recognition.
Yeah, he has that, but it's like, does he have it enough where they're like, I'm going to vote for him? Or do they just not like him enough? I'm not sure how serious that is. He says it's serious, but I don't know.
Okay, so you talked about MAGA, though. Just very quickly before we go to the next race, how much would a Trump endorsement change the Senate race, in your opinion?
Oh, a lot. No doubt. If Trump came out and endorsed Barry Moore, it's over.
Okay.
I mean, just like there was a congressional race in Tennessee that was kind of up in the air. Trump endorses someone, it's over.
Wow.
And by a lot. So I think that'd make a huge difference.
Okay, the Attorney General's race. This one is actually very close. There's not a clear front runner, in my opinion. Talk to me about that one.
Yeah, it seems like you said there's a back and forth.
Yes.
I know Steve Marshall is endorsing someone, so I think maybe that's probably the best endorsement.
I mean, it's his second in command,
Right.
Catherine Robertson.
So some loyalty there for sure. But.
Okay, and Alpha has endorsed her, is supporting her, and endorsed her. BCA is throwing their support against former Supreme Court Justice Jay Mitchell. So it's a good race, and this one has actually gotten a little chippy, in my opinion, as well.
I know. I mean, we
A
both
little.
work, I work for Yellowhammer News, and there's a lot of reporting we're doing like, oh, Mitchell said this, and Robertson. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. That seems to be a toss-up to me. I would give the edge to who Attorney General Steve Marshall's picking.
I think that's a good take.
Okay. Well, we got to look at some other stuff as well. Looking on the international front, we had a historic peace deal in the Middle East in Gaza. And I have to say, I was cautiously optimistic about this. I almost didn't think it was possible. The idea Israel, they were going to get all of the hostages back, and Hamas would agree to that. But that's happened, and you got to give some credit to Trump. But I mean, what comes next? Is it going to last? That's the real question.
There is a very big question about what's coming next with this. I mean, Israel is already claiming they're in violation of the peace deal by not handing over enough remains. That's already happening. But there is no way you cannot give credit to President Trump for brokering this deal and getting these hostages home. I mean, if you've watched the videos, it's so emotional. Just what has happened in 2 years. We're talking about 2 years in tunnels. They're suffering from vitamin D deficiencies and starvation. All these things that these hostages have gone through, and the fact that they are home and getting treatment now, that's a huge victory.
And it really is because I think Trump, like I said, deserves a lot of credit. There was definitely some peace through strength where we allowed Israel to basically take out all their enemies. They took out Iran, they took out Hezbollah, they did a strike in Qatar, now Trump helped take out the Houthis, we took out Iran's nuclear program.
So I think this was like a chess game going on here.
I don't know. They say Trump plays 4D chess. I'm not one of those guys who says Trump plays 4D chess, but I do think it was very strategic by both of them. And they were able to get their Arab partners on board. And a lot of those Arab countries, they also hated Iran. So they're like, okay, if we can take out Iran for them, that helps us make deals with these Arab countries.
Do you think having these Arab partners in the region is making the chances of success for this peace deal stronger?
Yeah, although there are some problems. As we've talked about, Hamas already going back to killing their own people. It's going to take those Arab countries stepping up even more, maybe putting boots on the ground so we don't have to, or Israel doesn't have to, I would say. So we also have a big topic when it comes to the Supreme Court. And this, I mean, it directly affects Louisiana when it comes to redistricting. But it really affects Alabama as well, which Alabama kind of lost this fight, but maybe in the end they'll win this fight. Well, oral arguments were this week, and it seems the conservative justices are going to side with Louisiana. And they say no more racial gerrymandering. You can gerrymander for partisan reasons if you want, but not based on race. We're done with that. And that would change Alabama's district map.
It would change Alabama's district map. And what is interesting to me is that this came about because of Alabama's case at the Supreme Court, where we did base the redistricting lines. And we got a new congressional district, if you remember that. And that could be all out the window if this happens. So yes, it affects Louisiana, but it definitely affects Alabama as well. Now, 2030, we'd be redrawing our lines anyway, but it could come a lot sooner than that.
Yeah, it seems like it now. I spoke with some state senators this week, and they said it all depends on the timing of when the ruling comes down. So you have oral arguments, but the ruling doesn't come down right away. So it's all based on the timing on when, if they could do it this coming legislative session or the time after that. But the fact of the matter is, when they did it based off racial gerrymandering, it was almost guaranteed it was going to give a Democrat another seat. Well, obviously Republicans in Alabama don't want that, so they're going to make it sure it's just one Democrat.
But this is the same Supreme Court that made the Alabama ruling. What do you think why the change?
So the only thing I can think of is when they made the ruling in Alabama, it was more of a process thing. It wasn't, we are ruling right now on the Voting Rights Act. We'll address the Voting Rights Act later. So when I heard oral arguments this week, it was like that section of the Voting Rights Act was supposed to be because of Jim Crow right after all of that. And it wasn't supposed to last forever. It's similar to what the Supreme Court said about affirmative action, where they came up and they said affirmative action used to be necessary, but really it goes against the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. So we can't last forever because it's unconstitutional. That seems to be where we're going with this, that they're just saying, look, we understand why they did this. It was supposed to be temporary, but it goes against the Constitution. And I think when you have a conservative majority like we have, there you are. So we'll have to see what happens.
We'll have to see what happens. There is a chance, though, that this doesn't get decided until after the Alabama legislative session anyway. So stay tuned on that. It is very interesting, and the fact that Alabama is still playing a large role in this argument and this discussion. We are going to take a break, and thank you so much. We've got Yaffe here filling in for Del Jackson.
A lot of fun.
I'm Mecca Music. We'll be back with Madison Mayor-elect Renee Bartlett. Thank you so much.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Get the latest scoop on Bama straight from the coach's mouth. Stream the Kalen DeBoer Show anytime on Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom, Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
At Elite Door Service, we're your local experts for all things garage doors, residential and commercial. Our licensed and insured team is led by a certified master technician. When it comes to garage doors, don't settle for average. Choose Elite Door Service.
Scout Pest Control is your one-stop shop for pest control. We do it all, from rodents to mosquitoes, termites to bed bugs. We offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all our services. When you think pest control, think Scout. ScoutPestControl.com. Scout Pest Control is locally owned and operated. We offer superb customer service and can even clean up after pests. When you think pest control, think Scout. Call us at 256-216-1088 or visit ScoutPestControl.com.
Think you need a new roof? Think again and save thousands. We'll help you put off the high cost of a roof replacement for at least 5 years.
Or 10.
Or sometimes even 15.
We're America's most trusted roofer because we always try to save your roof rather than replace it.
We'll restore your roof for a fraction of the cost of a new one. But don't wait. If your roof loses too much protective coating, it's too late. Call now or scan the code and we'll give you an assessment of your roof for free.
What if you could make a free phone call and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Right now, you could be paying as high as 20% interest. Your new interest rate could be reduced to as low as 2.48%. You can refinance any existing car loan or leased car and save money every month. Make this free phone call and learn how to save hundreds of dollars a year by refinancing your existing car loan.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics This Week. I am Yaffe, filling in for Dale Jackson. Don't worry, Dale will be back next week. It's good to be back. Mecca Music is joining me, though, as well.
I'm here, and this week we have Madison Mayor-elect Renee Bartlett here. Thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you were recently elected mayor of Madison, but you have been a city council member for a number of years. What are the differences in the position, and what do you expect to change for you?
Well, you know, the city council is the entity that hands out the money. And so the mayor can't pass anything without the city council's approval. That's designed by ordinance. But the mayor is the chief executive officer. The mayor supervises all of the department heads, really puts the initiatives forward for the city.
All right.
So talk a little bit about the SSUT, the online sales tax. How does that affect How does that affect you guys?
A lot of municipalities seem to be having this issue. We've seen lawsuits. Where is Madison on this issue, and how does it affect your municipality, but also others in the state?
Well, there's no question that the big 10 cities in Madison are the most affected by the way that SSUT, Simplified Seller's Use Tax, is distributed by the state. So the state gets half, but they're only charging 8%, and that's a lot lower than what you would see most local governments charging for sales tax. And the people who are really losing are our school systems, because they were left out entirely by the distribution. So there are some big entities that are battling for these funds. They want a fair distribution, and we're going to have to wait and see in the next legislative session how this is going to shake out.
I was going to say, when I asked the question, I could see it in your in your eyes a little bit, like, yeah, we need to fix this problem. We need to do better here.
I think so, because there's a real negative impact on your local businesses. Mm-hmm. It's hard for them to compete with internet as it is. And then when you change the tax structure and hurt them even more, it's hard to compete.
Yeah.
Now, you just mentioned the Big Ten, and what does Dale call it, the Big Ten Mafia or something like that? He has
Yes,
a funny name for
probably.
it. He's going to be so mad I messed this up. But you will be part of the Big Ten Mayors Group, you know, and to get, you all have a lot of clout. Together you have even more clout. You, however, will be the only female Big Ten mayor. Are you excited about being one of the Big Ten mayors?
You know, I am excited anytime I get to represent the interests of the city of Madison. So I'm looking forward to getting to meet all of the other mayors. I've already sat down to meet with Mayor Battle last week. We have a lot of work to do to advance the interests of the cities in Madison.
So when you look at municipal elections, usually they're nonpartisan.
Usually, no, they're supposed to be nonpartisan, Yaffe.
Well, yeah, okay. Sometimes behind the scenes they hide it a little bit. But the reason why I say usually is because you have the Alabama Republican Party. They came out and said they're getting involved in municipal elections, and they took a lot of credit for, in their opinion, Republicans winning that. How do you think that affects you, future elections in Madison?
Well, you know, I've served on the school board, which was also a nonpartisan position, for 10 years. And then moving to the city council, that was also a nonpartisan election. I did not see in Madison that kind of influence or that type of partisan contest that was coming up or with the candidates. And so I didn't see that infiltrate Madison.
Well, I mean, you'll be happy about that anyway.
If you've seen the show before, Dale and I argue about this.
Yeah.
You know, municipal government, this is the most pure form that we have right now. And I just don't think we need all the negative connotations and labels and everything that comes with the national politics.
The problem is, and I'm pretty sure this is what Dale said, when the Democrats do it, it's really difficult for the Republicans not to do it back.
Okay.
And I think that's where we are.
You know, I think that's a really fair point, because when you have candidates run who then try to reach out to partisan elements in terms of their platforms, then you start seeing that element come in on the other side. This time, I don't think any of our candidates tried to make it a partisan race.
Okay, there we go.
That's not, see, great. So I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the, I would say, challenges. Good challenges in a way. Space Command, the growth. It's been, as part of the school board, you know, you've been involved in this issue for so long. And it's not just Madison. A lot of the whole region and other parts of Alabama as well, this is the struggles with growth. How is Madison going to maintain their edge amidst all this continued growth? That doesn't seem like it's going to be slowing down.
You're absolutely right. And this entire region has been planning for growth for some time. And so we'll be able to handle whatever Space Command brings. I think it's really important, though, for Madison County, and Huntsville to continue to grow together, because what we've seen is that when we work together and fight for resources together, our entire region benefits.
And talk about your relationships with legislators, with the team, if you will, of North Alabama.
I've spent many years developing relationships with our delegation. I've enjoyed working with Mac McCutcheon when he was the speaker, when he was just a representative, and certainly now as chairman of the commission. Of course, I've enjoyed getting to work with our legislative delegation as they've supported our school system as a school board member, as they continue to support our city.
Okay. So final question I have, are you nervous or are you just really excited?
I am really excited. We have so many great people who work in our city. Our department heads are so dedicated to serving the residents of Madison. Our police force is just outstanding. We're a safe place to live. We have an outstanding public school system and a great quality of life. Who wouldn't want to be mayor of Madison?
Okay, wait, I do have one more question because it goes on to that. Some people might not know you are also the director of U.S. Chess, correct?
That's right, and I'm winding down that job. I'm the executive director of U.S. Chess. My last day will be October 21st.
So my question, though, is, does this chess experience help you in politics? Has this helped you in your political career?
I do tend to think a few moves ahead. I look at the end game. I try to make sure that we achieve our objectives.
Well, thank you so much. This has been fantastic.
I do not want to go up against her in any political battle now. If she's using chess, that's good stuff. Renee Bartlett, really appreciate you coming on. She is the Madison City Mayor-elect. And when we get back, I got my parting shot as well. I want to talk a little bit about the National Guard and much more. Stay with
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. My friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Scout Pest Control is your one-stop shop for pest control. We do it all, from rodents to mosquitoes, termites to bed bugs. We offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all our services. When you think pest control, think Scout. ScoutPestControl.com. Scout Pest Control is locally owned and operated. We offer superb customer service and can even clean up after pests. When you think pest control, think Scout. Call us at 256-216-1088 or visit ScoutPestControl.com.
At Elite Door Service, we're your local experts for all things garage doors, residential and commercial. Our licensed and insured team is led by a certified master technician. When it comes to garage doors, don't settle for average. Choose Elite Door Service.
Think you need a new roof? Think again and save thousands. We'll help you put off the high cost of a roof replacement for at least 5 years.
Or 10.
Or sometimes even 15.
We're America's most trusted roofer because we always try to save your roof rather than replace it.
We'll restore your roof for a fraction of the cost of a new one. But don't wait. If your roof loses too much protective coating, it's too late. Call now or scan the code and we'll give you an assessment of your roof for free.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Don't wait. Call us.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Get the latest scoop on Bama straight from the coach's mouth. Stream the Kalen DeBoer Show anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics This Week. I am Yaffe, filling in for Dale Jackson, but don't forget, sign up at yellowhammernews.com for his 7 things you should be talking about today. It shows up in your email, plus I write every day. Top news stories from around Alabama. You can see my stories at yellowhammernews.com. Check it out today. Now let's get to that parting shot. So there is a lot of talk on whether maybe the National Guard, should it go to Montgomery? We've seen some pretty bad crime there, and the Max unit has done pretty well under Steve Marshall to handle the crime, but maybe it's not good enough. Maybe we need the National Guard. My general take on this is, why not? I think when Tommy Tuberville becomes governor, he'll probably get the National Guard there, but you know, a city should want it. I know Stephen Reed, he wants to blame gun control, but every city in this state, in Alabama, every city, most people have guns, but we don't see the problems that we see in Montgomery. That means something more has to be done than just passing some kind of gun control law. We need better policing. Well, if they're short-staffed in Montgomery, and if the Max unit isn't doing good enough, well, the National Guard should come in. It's our state capital. One reason that Trump did it when it came to Washington, D.C., is it's the nation's capital. It should have some authority. We should make it really represents the country when you're talking about D.C. Well, Montgomery represents the state. And if the National Guard really can help, but it's going to have to be more than that. You're going to have much better law enforcement as a whole in Montgomery. And we're going to have to be willing to do what it takes, which means locking up the criminals, having tough prosecutions, making sure the DA does the job they're supposed to do. But it also has to do with the culture as well. There's something wrong with the culture in too many of our inner cities, and that culture of gang violence, which this is what this is. It is being caused by gang violence. That's what's causing a lot of this, and we have to address it. So the National Guard, yes, we should just say, and it should be done in cooperation with the state. But if that's what has to be done, that's what has to be done, and I'm totally okay with that. And I think it's coming if Tuberville ends up being our next governor. So I appreciate you watching the show today. This has been Alabama Politics This Week. I have been filling in for Dale Jackson. He'll be back next week. See you guys next time.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.